Good morning. It is a gorgeous day here. It's not too hot. I think it's sort of in the mid-20s, and I am going to start trying to sort out this room. I'll show you a quick before. Please don't judge me on how messy it is. It just kind of became a bit of a dumping ground. So I'm going to be super organised, try and make some sense of it, and then we can see what kind of storage we need to add so that we can fit most things in our lovely shed over here. We've got a lot of wood to chip, so I'm going to get the chipper out and make some wood chip, which is brilliant for the garden, and then anything that won't go through the chipper we're saving for next year's firewood. This is what we end up with. This stuff is so good for the garden, keeping the moisture in and the weeds out. And then all of this we'll just chop up into shape to be kindling and firewood. So happy, because we've been burning this the last few years because you can't leave it lying on the land like this because it's a fire hazard in the summer, so it has to be gone. And yeah, we didn't have a chipper, and now we do, don't we, Joao? bless you. You gonna help Dodo? This plant is done. Frankie? Sausage dog, you wanna go walkies? Does she wanna go? Walkies, you wanna go? You can come too. We're going left. Come on this way. Frankie. Iwan is, what's the word? My brain just doesn't work some days. He's skiving off tonight's dog walk because there's football to watch. I feel like there is always football to watch. But I think it's his loss. I mean, this walk is lovely. Much more lovely than football games. Those pigs are coming. Good boy. I adore this field. It's so yellow. So these eucalyptus trees were cut down 2 years ago maximum, maybe only 18 months. You can see how tall they keep growing, and they swamp out. Like here's a cork oak, and yeah, they're just such fast growers. You can see why they kind of take over, but they're pretty cool trees. It's a really beautiful one, really big old one here. The river is already so low, like for this time of year. Should at least be running still, but yeah, it's just been such a dry spring. I think we had 1 day of rain in April, none so far in May, so I'm still quite full. We're just managing to get Diogo to get into the water now. It's really nice to see. He used to be scared of it. Let's go in. Throw him some treats in and we'll go in. Good morning. So my first job of the morning is I really want to get this raised bed filled. My greenhouse is bursting with little seedlings that would like to get in the ground, so it'd be good to get this filled. We dug out some ditches a few months ago, so there's a pile of soil down there. I'm going to go wheelbarrow whilst Iwan is trimming, of course.
Bon dia, bon dia. How's it going? Another lovely day. Another day of strimming. Fun, fun. We are at a high or very high fire risk today. Not the highest, the one below it. So we have a restriction till 11 o'clock again. I'm not sure if I've shown you this grass. So it's like proper straw grass or hay grass. So what we've been doing this year is letting it actually turn into straw and trying to use it. So whether or not that's like mulching the garden for the potatoes, or simply giving it to our neighbours and our friend Manel to use for his animals. So, actually try and use the land for what it's for. It's a bit of a jungle, as you can see. Not for much longer.
Are you making coffee?
The sponsor of today's video is Squarespace. Squarespace is a brilliant tool for entrepreneurs and creatives, helping you build a website to support your business or passion project. Whether you'd like to create an online shop or showcase your creative work, then Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that can empower you to easily create a beautiful website that helps you to stand out. They have lots of brilliant features, including their new editing interface, which makes it easy to edit your site pages and position them from images to text exactly the way you want. It's simple to add elements like a newsletter sign-up, an about page, as well as text and images on a blog post. They have many marketing tools, including email management and analytic tools to track the performance of your website, so that you can easily see where to improve and refine your website to best meet your customer needs. My favourite feature is their award-winning templates, which are beautiful and help you to very quickly achieve a sleek and professional-looking site, even if this is your first time creating one. If this sounds like something you've been looking for, head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/FrankieOffGrid to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All links will be in our description below, and thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video and supporting our project.
It amazes me that anything grows in this soil. It just looks so devoid of life and is so dry. But I saw lots of creatures in it when I was digging. I found a slow worm and a spider with a bundle of eggs and a millipede. So it's definitely life being sustained by it, but I don't know how. Just put on some wood ash from when we've had fires a few weeks ago. The wood ash is best if it's not been rained on because you tend to lose a lot of the nutrients. We have not had that problem. It's been no rain. So this is what's going on in the greenhouse. I think most things actually just need potting on to get a little bit bigger before I plant anything out. I don't know where we're going to put all these watermelons. I just need to decide what is ready to actually go in the bed and what needs a little bit longer. And my sweet potato slip experiment. Lots of roots going on them, so no slips yet, but hopefully soon. I did find some in the shop, so I have got some in the ground, but yeah, I'm excited to see if this works. For a flat white pumpkin and a white Hubbard squash, I think that's what they're called. This is to remind me what I've planted. Iwan's back to strimming. I'm just going to take out all the shooters off the tomatoes, and someone commented in the last video that you can just stick them in the ground and they'll grow as tomatoes, so I'm going to do that in the new raised bed and see if it works. Maybe I'm supposed to put them in water first. So I've got pumpkins in each corner, then a row of giant sunflowers here. I've got 3 little chickpea plants in here, see how they do. And then this is a tomato that Nick and Ange gave us, apparently it's a very yummy tasty one. And then these are all just the shooters from the tomato plant, see if they do well in here. I'll give it another big soak this evening. And then I've got some cosmos flowers at the back, and then I'll probably try and see if I can fit some more bits in here. Now I'm going to go and get in my greenhouse and pot some stuff on.
Right, while Carissa's doing some gardening, I am going to get started on shading. It's starting to get warm in the sun now. I mean, today's a cool day and it's like 26 degrees, but in the sun it's like closer to 35, 40. Yep, it's one of those summer jobs that we really need to get done. Right, so you've probably noticed that there's 2 bits of wood missing from there. Carissa nicked them for something, I can't remember what. So we need to put them back on. Yeah, so I've measured them up, cut them up, and now we need to get them up. Right, next stop, last year's shade. So fingers crossed, most of it's alright, but as you can see it's a bit frayed. But try and reuse it rather than buy new, so let's see what we got. Right, got a fairly useless piece of shade left, so I'm just going to stick it on the side of the chicken coop.
Had a big sort out and potting on session in here. I find putting the seed trays in like things like this to hold the water makes a huge difference. These 2 black trays were on here without them, and I think especially this bit was always in the sun, so it just dried out really quickly and nothing has grown because of that. So hopefully now I've put them in these and given them a good soak, they may come up. Everything's looking a lot happier and I know what needs to go out. I've got some goji berries looking a bit sorry for themselves, so I'm going to go plant this one next to the cabin, which Iwan's just been putting all the shade up in front of, and I would love to get it so that it's all plants. So I've got jasmine on this side, which kind of died back in the winter. All my sweet peas. I'm very happy here. I'm going to be getting some seeds off those, and then I've got honeysuckle doing pretty well up this side, so I think I might put the goji in this corner and with the mint. Let's see how it does. So much nicer now that we've got the shade under here. So I've made a little bit of a dent on sorting out this room some more. The tanks are now empty, so they'll be going under the lean-to, I think. And most of these tools we don't really want to store in the shed because it's going to get so hot in there, and there's like lithium batteries in most of them. Same with the generator. I don't feel too certain about leaving that in there. And then also anything like this is all like liquids and paints and stuff, so they'll be easy enough to move out and put somewhere when we do begin working. But it really like shows the amount of digging out we've got to do as they clear. So we want to go below this step, probably lower than it is outside, and it just like progressively goes up into this corner. And then just like when we did the kitchen, the walls only came up to about here, less than halfway, and then the rest was breeze block, so we didn't have too much to fill, just the one wall which is on the reverse side of this. So to know we have these entire walls to work on. I mean, it's very enjoyable work, but it's going to take a long time. They're going to be beautiful. It's a nice, this used to be a window, I guess, when it was a house. I actually think there was a second floor, because you have like this big hole, which was the beam, and our neighbour did tell us that this was a second story house, even though the deeds just say 1 story. But yeah, you can see where I imagine, when assuming that there were beams in here. But yeah, we're really excited to get started on it, but we're also trying to decide, now that it's warming up, what makes sense to kind of focus on, because yeah, we don't want to be working in the heat or doing sort of like labour. So we shall see, but this is a good first step, and it's really nice to get everything organised, and it's amazing the amount of stuff one accumulates. Even when you feel like you're quite intentional or minimal, it builds up. A lot of it was kind of like rubbish or things that are broken that I tend to hold on to because I think I can fix or repurpose. Some of it was probably just not worth keeping. So yeah, but we now have a big pile piled up on our table outside, all like the screws and everything that just kind of needs organising better. So I've put it in the way so that it annoys us so much we will do it when we're just sort of sitting and it's in the shade, so that can be a hot weather job. But yeah, it's not too hot today, but walking between here and the shed was a little bit warming when you've done it about 20 times. But yeah, it's a really nice day today. Frankie still thinks it's too warm to do anything but snuggle on the cold floor. Where's that cheeky Diogo? You're being sensible and sitting in the shade, Dodo. Keeping guard.
So just a slight disaster. The Strimmer stopped working. Not entirely sure why, but we'll go and troubleshoot and just do everything, and hopefully doing everything will fix it. So started with the fuel filter, then have done the air filter. I did some research and I asked Uncle Nick what he thought, and he said the air filter might well be it. So I've given this a good clean with soapy water, and we'll try and put it back on. But it's too late now and it's too hot, so can't do any more. We'll have to wait until tomorrow. Fingers crossed it works. Otherwise we're going to need to buy a new strimmer, which is very annoying. A few weeks ago I was doing some strimming work for some friends, and I got to use their steel, however you pronounce it, strimmer, which is an absolute monster. I think the one I've got is 43cc, and that particular one was 55, I think, and my god, could you tell the difference. But yeah, hey ho, I'll try and put this back together. Next morning, moment of truth. Well, that's still not working. I need to start saving up for that still strimmer. Maybe a quick visit up to Uncle Nick's to see whether he can make any sense of it.
Well, I was hoping we would end this video on a happier note. It is very frustrating that the strimmer's broken just as we get to the end of strimming the land. There's not too much left to do, so yeah, it's very annoying timing, but I'm sure we'll resolve it. Hopefully Nick might have an idea. He is very good with, well, anything basically. But yeah, I don't like to end on a bad note, so I'm going to do a nice montage of all the beautiful flowers on our land and yeah, send us good strimmer vibes. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next weekend. Take care.